democracy itself means that the people are free to choose their own leaders. Almost meaning the same is the word republic, which means governance by a group of people. Republic in itself doesn't necessarily have anything to do with elections. Democracy has everything to do with elections. Republic simply means rule by a group of people. So you can have republics that are not democracies, like China, because China is ruled by a group of people. Now, many democracies, however, are republics, like India. We are ruled by a group of people, but we elect them in a free and fair election. So these are what are called democratic republics, and there are a large number. I don't know, maybe 50, 60 are like this in the whole world today, as opposed to, say, monarchies and dictatorships and things like that. So coming back again to democracy, it means that every democracy has some form of election. So we elect people, and then they sit in parliament or in the assemblies, and they rule on our behalf, really. When we elect somebody and put them there, they are ruling on our behalf. It is the wishes of the people that are carried out by our elected representatives.
Yes.
Which is why when they come back for re-election after 5 years, they say, this is what we promised you, and you voted us on this basis. And this is what we have done. So please vote for us again. And it is the duty of the opposition parties to say that, well, these guys promised you all these things, but they didn't deliver on their promises. So please throw them out and vote us instead, and this is what we will do. So this is how elections by and large proceed in India. Today's Maharashtra election and the result which has come out today also shows the same trend. People were by and large happy with the existing Mahayuti government in Maharashtra, so they have voted them back with an increased majority actually, which means that they feel that they're expecting something out of this Mahayuti, and that is why they voted in that following manner. So far, so good. Now, another cardinal principle of any democracy, which seems very natural and obvious to anybody, you don't need to be even sort of college graduate or even high school to understand this, that the value of each vote in a democracy must be the same for every citizen of the country.
Essentially, the right of equality.
Article 14 of our Constitution says just that. It says that the state shall treat all citizens the same, isn't it? So when I go and vote in Bengaluru, or somebody else goes and votes in Bodinayakanur, or somebody else goes and votes in Bareilly, the value of that vote in terms of being able to elect a member to the Lok Sabha should be exactly the same. My vote should not be worth less than the fellow in Bodinayakanur. So this sounds almost obvious, isn't it? But yet what happens in all democracies or in all countries is that even if you start like this, like I'll say, a state with a population X elects so many Y members to the Lok Sabha, it will be a certain proportion. And that proportion will be kept in all the states in the country. That is, in the beginning, that's how it is. What happens after some time is that the population growth in the various states starts becoming different.
Divergence of population.
The rate of population growth starts becoming different. Some places, maybe people don't live there anymore, so they come out. This sort of rural to urban migration. So many reasons. The population increases at different rates in different parts of the country. Now, when this happens, the value of each vote in a particular place starts becoming different. if you do not change the number of seats in the parliament or assembly. Like suppose I have a population of 100 and then I elect 2 people out of the 100 to sit in parliament. Now, suppose for some reason that population goes to 150 and I'm still electing only 2 people.
And this also is the fact that different parts of the country.
Yes, somebody else will go to 170, somebody will be 130. And then I don't change the number of seats. If suppose 100 to 150, 2 should become 3. In terms of 2 for 100, so it will be 3 for 150.
If we were to take a concrete example, if there were constituencies A and B, and they started with roughly the same number of voters, at some point of time, the divergence happens. So how does this process work in our democracy, and what is the constitutional mechanism that's there in our constitution to deal with this?
Yes. We will take a real life example. To find out the number of people, you need census. Okay. And census in our country is normally held every 10 years. In the year ending with 1. So 1961, 1971, 1981, like that. And the last census that was held was 2011. In 2021, we could not hold a census because of COVID. So a census is now badly overdue. They have said now that they are going to have the census next year. And normally to do the full census takes a full 2 years. So by the end of 26, the census should be over. Now, we need a census to know the number of people. But for the matter of delimitation, we should look at the population increases. 4 states I will take.
Okay.
Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Let us start with the 1971 year as a base year for population.
This is the current delimitation is based on that as the census?
I'm still coming to delimitation. Before I come to delimitation, which was frozen in 1976, suppose you take the population growth of these 4 states between 1971 and 2011. So 71, 81, 91, 2001, 2011, 40 years.
Yes.
In these 40 years, by what percentage did these population of these 4 states grow? The numbers are as follows. Bihar is 240%.
Okay.
So if there were 100 people in Bihar in 71, there are 240 people in 2011. Uttar Pradesh is 227. Bihar 240, UP 227, Karnataka 210,
okay,
210, Tamil Nadu 175. 240, 227, 220, 175.
There's a large differential.
There is quite a large differential. Further, because the number of seats per population was roughly equal for these 4 states in 1971. Till 1971, they used to go on adjusting the number of seats per state to keep up with these small changes in population.
Can I interrupt you for a minute out here?
Of course.
Is the census and delimitation happening at the same frequency?
Yes, it must. And in any functioning democracy, whether it is USA, UK, France, Germany, etc., it happens a short while after the census. So usually when they know the number of people, then they know the changes And usually, if you do it frequently,
Mhm.
the changes in what do you mean by delimitation? Delimitation means changing the boundaries of the constituencies.
Mhm.
So you will remove a few villages or a few districts or a few talukas here and there. You will adjust the limits so that the ratio of people elected to the population remains roughly the same all the time.